Hey yo, somebody said that this is Jimmy Butler talking to Markelle Fultz after 2 air balls during practice. No, on a serious note, the Jimmy Butler era is finally over in Minnesota, and I think that's probably really disappointing to Wolves fans. I think that we all in unison believe that Jimmy Butler was the best thing that had happened to them in probably the last, 8 or 9 years when he got traded there, and it looked like they had a really good squad. You had him, Cat, Wiggins, the potential was definitely there, and he got tired of them after 1 year and ended up making a mockery of them for like the first month or two of this season. And as one of my favorite Twitter accounts pointed out, Jimmy Butler was able to humiliate them in practice, talk about being sore so he could miss games, embarrass the whole team on live TV. But the breaking point for Tom Thibodeau was him doing an interview talking about the amount of minutes he was playing. So Tibbs was cool with everything else, but the minute you start criticizing his rotation and minutes played, you gotta get up out of here. But now with Butler gone, if you so happen to be interested in seeing Cat struggle to back down the opposition, you can do so with the SeatGeek app. SeatGeek is the amazing app that provides you with the easiest way to buy tickets for almost any kind of event, which would most likely be sports related for you all. The app pulls tickets from all over the web and has them in one place to make purchasing one for your event really easy, and it also assures you'll be getting the best value for your ticket. While searching for your tickets, each one is ranked with a score from 1 to 100 that lets you know if you're getting a good deal or not for your purchase. On top of that, the app also provides you with the detailed view of what you would see from your seat before you even get there, which is extremely helpful. If you're interested in downloading this app, the links will be in both the comment section and highlighted in the description. If you're still on the fence, consider using my promo code DOM2K to get $20 off your first purchase. So my reaction to this trade was just being very shocked, because it was one of those moves that you just had no clue when it was coming. You knew Jimmy wanted to be traded, but at least through the first month of the season, you saw that Tibbs was playing hardball with it. He wanted to keep Jimmy as part of this team, and so therefore you just didn't know if he was just going to take that for the entire year or he was going to do it right before February. You just had no clue. And I was also very shocked to see him go to the Sixers, but I think this trade works out pretty nicely for both teams. It works out for the Wolves because not only did they get some nice pieces in Covington and Saric, but they got rid of a player who clearly didn't want to be there, who clearly was not going to resign, and who I think was just becoming a bit of a cancer to that specific locker room. When your best player is sitting out every other game in effort to be traded, and then making inflammatory comments to the media, you just can't think that's gonna go well for the rest of the team. That just can't work that long, right? And I also think that this works out for the Sixers because in an ever-evolving East, I think they were about to find themselves in no man's land. So we knew they had Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, but the way this season was shaping up, I think they were starting to be perceived as the little brothers in the East. We already had it as a topic that during the summer, they really didn't make a whole lot of progress as a team, and as a matter of fact, they lost a couple of important pieces. Meanwhile, everybody in the East got better. The Celtics are struggling right now, but they got healthy, and they got better by virtue of people not being there last season, so of course some younger guys stepped up. The Bucks made some really underrated additions, and then of course the Raptors got a whole lot better with the trade for Kawhi. So the Sixers more or less just stayed the same, and we were just kind of waiting to see what did Ben Simmons add to his game, how are him and Joel gonna evolve. But adding Jimmy was a gigantic power move for the future. So the roster as it stands today definitely needs a little bit more shooting, and I'm not expecting them to just jump out of the gate and reach for the stars right away. But in an Eastern Conference where all the best teams are very young, and if there's no injuries or no crazy dramatic free agent moves, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And in a league where it takes so much talent on one team to even have a shot at a championship, the Sixers have just given themselves a potential big three going forward. And that's why I love this so much as a power move, because it's really about understanding your competition. And when you see that you have a team that's good but clearly not good enough, why sit around and just wait in no man's land when you have something like this? You have a deal on the table that you can go and you can make yourself immediately better for one, and set yourself up to be competitive in a really tough conference going forward. And just in general as a fan, I really love this trade because high-key, the East is becoming as powerful as it's ever been for the time that I've been a fan. The most powerful Eastern Conference that I've been around to witness was probably, I'm gonna go around the 2010 and 2011 seasons. So in 2010, that's back when you had the Cavaliers with LeBron, the Magic with Vince Carter and Dwight, and the Celtics Big Three. Those were three teams that all had realistic championship aspirations all at the same time. The East is very rarely ever like that. And now we're moving towards a conference where we're gonna have a Sixers Big Three that is eventually gonna have more support around it, in my opinion. The Celtics being what they are, the Raptors, who look like they are definitely headed for a 60+ win season and definitely look like legit champions championship contenders. The Bucks, who are finally entering that point where Giannis has real expectations and I assume will start being criticized if he doesn't meet those. And then even the Pacers, who are on their way up. Dare I say the Eastern Conference is headed towards being better than the West, because what the East has been missing for so long is multiple teams that are well-rounded with superstars at the core. They're going to have multiple of those going forward. So I don't want to ignore the Wolves because they were a part of this trade. Going forward, I'm going to be looking at how they integrate these young pieces into that system. But I'm also kind of looking like what's the plan here, because before Jimmy, Cat, and Wiggins, as far as winning, they weren't really getting anything done. But also keep an eye on Derrick Rose, and me being a D-Rose fan, that's really what I'm looking for out there in Minnesota, because over the last 10 days, he's had 3 really good games. I know when he had the 50-point game, the next, I think about a night or 2 later, he had general ankle soreness, and people were like, oh, not again, and that was just a one-time thing. But then he scored 30 against LA, and then he had 21 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds, I believe, in the game after that. Fairly quickly, he's solidifying himself again as a starting point guard, which would be amazing if he did. I kind of think that because of his past, the Wolves are probably not going to force that, and maybe he'll just thrive in this 6-man role. But now you don't have Jimmy Butler, that's 1 less scorer, that's 1 less ball handling scorer, and I'm looking to see how that translates into D Rose's game and what he does with that, because that means more touches around the team. So I am a satisfied basketball fan today. Like I said, I think that this move was more impactful for the Sixers' future than it is today, because as it stands, they're still not a championship team, as are most teams out there. As long as the Warriors exist, most other teams are really not championship teams technically. But just in general, I think this move is going to mean more a year from now when they can fill out the roster and really get some more shooters. That's what they will really benefit from right now. And at that point, I will really be looking forward to the day in the East where we could possibly have a total of 5 whole teams that could make the NBA Finals. That level of competition takes you back to like the 2013 Western Conference days. I'll be looking forward to it, and from this point, we just gotta wait and see what happens. So that part of the video is over, but I did not want to close the video out without issuing a thank you to all the supporters and fans out there. If you saw my last video, then you were probably a little excited that, yeah, I am still here. The Dom2K channel is still here. But I did just have to get on here and say, like, the level of support after that video was crazy. I had tons and tons of people reach out to me in the inboxes, and I talked to as many as I could. Obviously, I can't get to everybody, I try. But the level of support really was, like, it was just mind-blowing. It might sound cliche, but until you get tons of people really reaching out and telling you all types of different things and how much they really appreciate what you do, it was really an uplifting moment. And then the amount of support that you guys showed my second channel, just in case this one did end up disappearing. That channel grew and is still growing, but it grew a total of like 10,000 subs from the time I posted that video. And that's incredible just considering the fact that a lot of you were already subbed there. So that's 10,000 more people that came over there. And that really just made my entire week as a creator, to be honest. Like I said, October was a really tough month. And it was really good this last week to just be able to get up and then just look at the second channel and say, what do I feel like making? And to be able to create whatever I have felt like it in a really low stress situation, and to have people still come over there in really good numbers for a second channel to support. I just want you all to know how much that really did mean and how much that helped out. If you follow creators on this site, a lot of the times you really don't have to support them with money, to be honest. I opened a Patreon and only a couple of people really came, but that was because like I didn't really do the work to set it up the way I should have. But at the end of the day, that was really irrelevant. I told all of you the easiest thing you could do to support me was just to sub to that second channel and be engaged there, and that's exactly what so many people did. A lot of you immediately took interest in the Barbershop Talk series, and I really appreciate that as well, because that's where I get to just talk about basketball topics that I just don't think fit this channel as well. And the support on that series really means everything, because those are videos that are quality and that I can make much quicker. So just overall, I really appreciate all of you. And if you haven't subbed to that second channel, it would be a good idea if you did, because I'm not totally in the green over here yet. It's just that nothing has happened, so things just kind of are where they are. But for as long as things remain this way, I'll be making a lot of videos over there, and I'll be making some over here as well. So if you enjoyed this video in particular, hit the like button, comment, and sub, and make sure, especially if you're subbing to both channels, to hit the bell next to my name, or else you will not get any notifications, because that's just where YouTube is these days. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.